Hey all, and this is the Festival of Renewal. This is a Dark Commander event and Immortal Killer. Now I have an extremely powerful deck this time around. The main one I'm using you can see on the screen right now. Now I've tested out a few decks and this is by far the best one I can make up. It doesn't use Iria despite the event being Immortal Killer, so that's something to note. Now this is the non-event deck option. If you don't have too many event cards and want an alternative option, give this a try, but Iria-based teams don't do that much damage, unfortunately. The other thing you could try if you do have the event deck, we scroll down. Where is it? Let's find it. There we go. This is the ultra rare from the deck. Now, this increases Dark Commander damage by 140% on its own, so it's worth trying this on the team as well as with the ultimate form. Also, it does have a revive on it as well, so that's something to try. But now let's talk through the deck I've made up. So basically, it's all cards with Dark Commander damage boosts, with the main hitting card being Lost Covenant. So here is the event ultimate form, similar to the ultra rare. The main feature of this card is the increase of Dark Commander damage by 140%. Metaverse Masters, the next card gets 150% damage buff, so use that, then use Lost Covenant. This one boosts its own damage by 300%. Seaborn Scallywags again increases Dark Commander damage. Then Lords of Zybalba again increases Dark Commander damage. So yeah, that's the basics behind this team. Just increase Dark Commander damage by as much as possible. Then get Lost Covenant to do all the damage. Yeah, pretty straightforward team actually. It can be used on the very first turn. Hits really well. And yeah, a lot of fun to use actually. So we're going to move on to the relics now. These are just the best Dark Commander relics I have. I don't have the event ultimate relic on the team. I could only get it to 1 pink star, so it wasn't really worth using. Here's the old Immortal Killer relic. Breaks 3 Immortal Killer shields, plus 1 per Dark Commander ultimate hero, so that in itself is enough to break all the shields. Then I can just pick whatever other Dark Commander relics I want to use. The other thing you could try is Almar's Scythe as well, since that gives a percentage increase to attack. So here's my non-event deck idea. It's not as good, but it's still okay. High Performance Unit Iria used to give an increase of 2,500% attack to Immortal Killer heroes. Defraggers on the team, that's the Immortal Killer hero. Increases self-damage by 50% as well. Metaverse Masters used to boost up defraggers. Then 2 cards that increase Dark Commander damage. So yeah, similar sort of theory to my previous team basically. You're aiming to get 1 card to do as much damage as possible. But hopefully that gives you a few ideas to try. A non-Iria based team though seems to be the best option here, despite the fact that it's Immortal Killer. Anyway, we're going to move on to the Vault now. I didn't really get that much of interest from the Vault, despite going all the way to, I believe, tier 6. But this is what I got anyway. Alright, so here we go with the Vault. This is actually before the event begins. I really like the look of this deck. The damage buff is really big. That's the main reason I want the deck. I want to try and get it as early as possible, so here we go. Let's start opening the Vault and see what I get from the Vault. Here we go. Let's start with the first tier. You never know, I might get lucky on the first tier. That would be really nice. Doesn't normally happen, but would be nice. Okay, that wasn't very good. Here we go with tier 2. Not sure how far I'm going to be going with this. I will determine that as I sort of go, depending on what I get. I think I'm going to need to go up to at least tier 4. Or I might have to go all the way to the end to get the Master Hero. Okay, that's the main relic. Main relic soul. Okay, nothing else of interest so far, unfortunately, so I've got to keep going. This could be a good tier, you never know. We will see as I open it. Well, there's the main hero anyway. That's something good. Is that a rare relic? No, that's a main. Oh, okay, that's not what I was hoping for. I was hoping it was a rare. Right, so here we go. Here's the rare relic anyway on this tier. Right, there we go. Rare relic, then what else am I going to get? 2 copies of Mary Ann. Yeah, this is working out really expensive. Well, last tier anyway, I've got to kind of do this to get the Master Hero. So let's see what I get. Lots of copies of Mary Ann. Yeah, this is really, really bad. Very disappointing, just the Master Hero out of all of that. But it is what it is, I guess. At least I can forge the deck now. I just need to get the Ultra Hero. Then I can forge the Relic as well, which doesn't really help me much since I have better relics. Yeah, there we go. Just checking it's the correct card. Yeah, there we go. It's the one at the bottom. Don't want to forge 2 copies of the same card. That would be a complete and utter disaster. Anyway. Right, let's go ahead and forge it. Not sure, I think I might have made a mistake to a certain extent, as there's other vault offers being offered during the event, but I really liked the look of this deck, so I kind of needed to make it, mainly because of that damage buff. But yeah, it's worked out incredibly expensive, and only 1 pink star on the ultimate form. But never mind, it is what it is. Let's move on to the actual event. Here we go. Alright, so here we go with the Crusade. As always, I recommend staying with the Umbral map as long as you can beat it. It gives the best trophies, plus I think Umbral guild bosses are going to be killed quite quickly this time around. Well, by many players anyway. So as always, I recommend scrolling to the bottom, see if there's anything suitable there is in this situation. Here we go, let's play. Right, so this should be really easy. The trick to the Crusade, though, is trying to get through it as quickly as possible. I'm going to be earning a lot more trophies from solo bosses than I will from the Crusade this time around. So yeah, I want to get through this as quickly as possible, and the best way to do that is to just use 2 cards for the waves, then save everything that's left for any bosses. Or maybe just use 2 cards for the bosses, I don't know yet. Haven't been playing the event for that long. But whatever I do, I need to make sure I get through it relatively quickly. Let's just try 1 card. Metaverse can be used every single turn, so see if that's enough to get through this wave or not. That's alright, it's just slightly under, so yeah, 2 cards are what I need to use even with this team. I'm surprised actually. I thought Metaverse on its own would be enough, but it's not. So see if I can get a mini boss up or not. No, it's just waves, unfortunately, or normal enemies. This time just tried 2 cards. See what the end boss is as well. And there we go, that's much better with 2 cards. You can see the damage there compared to hardly hitting for anything. Now for the end boss, the boss to avoid if you can't defeat solo bosses is the Sphinx, or Sphinx, or whatever it's called. You can always click the chest like so, press it in, and it will show you what the end boss gives. If you can't defeat the solo bosses, then just be careful. Hopefully though, considering how overpowered this deck is and how many combinations there are, most players will be able to defeat the solo bosses even if it takes a few attacks. But there we go anyway, that was really easy. Mainly going to be focusing on the Crusade when I need keys though. Guild bosses, solo bosses, and possibly even ultimates this time around will give the best trophies. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to play the event yet, but that gives an idea of what the team can do in Crusade anyway. Alright, so I have a solo boss. I'm hitting pretty well with this team, so let's give this a go and hopefully get high ultra kill on the boss. I have actually managed 500%, but this is still relatively low level. Let's give my best team a go. Possibly might be a little bit better if I swap out maybe Seaborn Scalawags for an ultra rare from the current event deck, or Lords of Zybalba. It might increase the damage a little bit, but it gives far less power gems, so it's difficult. I'll just try this team though, I think. This team is good enough. So I'm not quite sure on the best activation yet, but something like 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 seems to work quite well, or you can just go left to right. Let's try 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 and see what this does. Yeah, I don't think that's the best option. I'm still experimenting with this team. I'm not quite sure what's best yet. Yeah, that's quite a weak hit compared to what I have been hitting, so I think I'll try just left to right. I got 200% though still, so that's not too bad. I do need to practice with this team a bit more though until I've got the hang of the activation order, I think. So on to guild bosses. These have both armour and might on them, so that makes them somewhat difficult. You can try defraggers if you want on them, but it only removes one of the buffs and not both of them, so you're probably going to need a counter card. The other card you can try for the guild bosses if you're having problems is Alma. Let's bring up Alma. Here we go. Since this counters, here we go. Chance to remove all buffs from all enemies, so you might remove both of them. It's something to try anyway. If you're having problems, hopefully I won't have any problems with this team, but we will find out in a minute as I attack the boss. Here we go. Right, so this time I'm going to go just left to right and see if I can one-shot the boss. Let's see if this is more effective than my previous activation order. Not a bad grid, but it's not perfect as there's no loose power gems. You can see that the damage is pretty consistent with this team. Yeah, both armour and might are countered with this team. Ultimate Form and Lost Covenant. So that's another reason why this team is pretty good. Also, this should be able to hit through the armour as well if armour's not countered. The damage value numbers are pretty good, as you can see. Obviously, if your variant of this team is not as strong, you might have problems hitting through the armour, but I'm kind of hoping the guild bosses will be killed really quickly this event. I'm going to try another one afterwards, I think, as this wasn't the best one. I've managed to get 30Q, sometimes a little bit more, and that was pretty poor actually. So let's try it again. This team is more effective than any Iria-based team I've made up though, so I highly recommend trying this if you have this team. But yeah, this should allow me to fly through the guild bosses even when they're level 300. So yeah, it should make for a fun event. Well, hopefully anyway. Let's try left to right this time. Again, it's not going ideal. There's no loose power gems. That's what I'm trying for. I can't get the mega damage value numbers unless I get the loose power gems, but that seemed a little bit more effective than the previous activation order, so I'll give that one more go. Yeah, I've still got another Umbral boss. Let's kill this, here we go. I'll try 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 this time. But yeah, you can see with this team, the guild bosses are really easy. They're quite fun to kill as well, which is why I've done quite a few. Also, this allows me to sort of test the team as well. Trying to find out what's best, but it does rely on luck to a certain extent. Now, that's quite good. Let's try that. This could be a good hit. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty decent. That's better. There we go. That's more like what this team can do with the right setup. But yeah, it does rely quite a lot on luck, unfortunately. It's still a good team though. It normally hits for at least 16Q. I'm very happy to have made up such a powerful team for the event. So there we go. That's my team in action and some of the event as well. Let's have a look at the collection. What have we got this time around? Looks like just Legend Souls actually. Nothing too exciting. Yeah, disappointing collection considering how awesomely overpowered the event deck actually is when used correctly. It's a really good deck, as you've probably seen, but you need other cards to make it work. Otherwise, it's simply not going to do much damage, unfortunately. But yeah, you've seen it in action. Now to have a look at what it is this time around. Either a Dragoon or a Warden. Oh, it's a Light Dragoon. Okay, so this is worth fighting for. Maybe. Depends if you have a decent light attack team. Let's see what it is. Create 7 light power gem IVs. That looks like quite an old battle skill actually, especially 3-turn cooldown. I would be curious to see what this specialises into, especially as it's Immortal Killer to start with. But as it is now, it's nothing too exciting, unfortunately. Yeah, the specialisations could make it quite interesting though. So we will see once I get the Dragoon, I guess. I will claim the random 6-star hero as well from here. I haven't claimed that yet. What am I going to get? Something interesting? Is that a support hero? I don't know, I've already got that card anyway. I don't think it was anything especially exciting. I do want to get that Slayer deck, though, from the previous event, so I need to save my coins. I'm going to be buying the first 2 tiers of all the packs this event. Hopefully I have enough coins to get that deck later on in the season. Okay, so now to look at the news feed. We have the Player's Choice sale. So that's kind of interesting to a certain extent. Basically, you choose your favourite deck and you can get it from the vault at a reduced price. Wouldn't get too excited about this though. It's only a slight percentage off, but it's cheaper than the main vault packs. So maybe worth considering, plus you can choose the deck that you like. I'm going to go for this deck, I think. There we go. Solstice. I thought that was Sunblessed Siblings. But anyway, now that I've gone for that, you can see I can purchase the vault here. And it's slightly cheaper. So yeah, be careful which one you vote for. Make sure it's a deck you actually want or like. Well, unless you're not planning to buy any Vault packs from that deck, of course. But anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope that was helpful. As always, if you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this video, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to help. If you did enjoy this video, leaving a like and subscribing is always appreciated. Thank you to those that have already subscribed. There are a few other videos on the screen as well. Feel free to check those out if you want to do so. And thanks for watching.